One of the biggest pieces of advice that I've seen out there for new YouTubers and how to grow your YouTube channel is consistency. So I want to talk about that in particular and why I kind of disagree that consistency will help you grow your channel. I think the idea is that if you just upload consistently, that the algorithm will start to understand what you're given, or your audience will find you, and just kind of by brute force you'll be able to put your content out there and it'll get traction and start going. But I don't think that I think that could actually hurt your channel, and I'll tell you why. When I started on YouTube, I started a 30-day challenge where I would upload a video every single day for 30 days. So in that sense, I was really consistent. I consistently shot and didn't really move the channel at all for the first 30 days. It didn't get any traction. After that, I didn't do 30 days anymore, but I was still consistently uploading. I would try to upload once a week, and I just shot videos of me walking around for once a week, and that didn't really gain any traction either. I also did some videos where I was in my office, and I did a lot of videos where I was talking to the camera, kind of just talking head type videos. And at first I used just bullet points. I kind of went that way, and then I used some scripts that I really kind of got AI to write for me and used them on the teleprompter. And that really didn't get anywhere from my channel either, but I was being consistent and I was doing these things that I thought was moving me in the right direction. I thought, if I just say enough stuff, YouTube is going to naturally just send my stuff out, or people are just going to start watching. I didn't really know what to expect. I mean, I was new. I think, as a new creator, I was going through these times where I didn't know what I was doing. I still don't know what I'm doing, but I'm better now than I was then at understanding things. But in the beginning, when people just tell you to be consistent, I think it's a little maybe not deceiving, but it kind of throws you off a little bit, because I felt like all I had to do was consistently upload whatever I wanted, and eventually it would start to pick up steam. And I guess I kind of thought it would grow exponentially or just kind of build on itself. And I didn't really realize that just being consistent doesn't really help. So it's a good piece of advice to be consistent. I mean, if you don't upload anything, or maybe you upload every week for 3 weeks and then you're gone for 3 weeks, I understand that side of it, that's not really going to be helpful for your channel. But I think the consistency part is taken out of context, and it's used where I thought, just if you just keep doing it over and over, then you'll eventually find some success doing that. But the reality is, if I'm not doing the right things, then I'm just consistently failing. I realized that I had to consistently change. I had to consistently grow. And I had to learn. I had to do new things. I had to get a style that worked for me. I had to reiterate what I was doing. I had to take what I enjoyed doing and try to figure out how to make that work, or learn a new process, or learn something new that I could implement into what I was already doing, and not just sit there and grind out the same stuff over and over that wasn't working. it was a new realization for me that helped me to not just to learn better, but it helped me to have more fun with the entire process. It helped me to grow. YouTube's probably one of the hardest things I've ever had to do because there's no instruction book. Nobody tells you how to do things. I mean, there's people that give you advice on what's worked for them, but what works for them doesn't always work for you. So a lot of times you have to take whatever advice they give you, but you have to personalize it and you have to make it your own advice. You have to grow with it. So what I've been doing is implementing pieces that I've heard other people talk about and try to understand those in more depth and how I can apply them to my channel and the videos that I create. One of the biggest things, and I've talked about this before, is storytelling, and I'm still trying to figure all that out. I'm still trying to understand how I can structure my video to where I can communicate it better to you so that you get the message that I'm trying to put out, and that it's not just an empty message or me blabbering. It's actually got some structure to it now that, you know, I can take a guide, and every time I do a video, it's like I learn something new about this structure that I'm creating, and I'm creating it for myself, where I can apply these same principles of the story structure. And I don't like to refer to it as story because a lot of people, when you say story, they think you're talking about telling a story or you know, saying some kind of anecdote or something. But what I'm talking about is just the structure of how the points flow to each other, where you go from here, what needs to happen next, what happened before. So this structure, this format or structure that I'm trying to use, I'm developing this over time, trying to get better at it and trying to understand it, wrap my head around it, because it's not an easy concept for me. I think a lot of people struggle with that and how to apply it, and that's where I've been. But it has helped a lot since my beginning, where I would just pick up the camera and start talking. And I've come a long way in a year, but I've still got a long way to go. But it's fun. I'm learning a lot. So I guess what I'm trying to say is consistency by itself has not really helped me in the journey that I'm in. It hasn't helped me. Maybe it's because I'm not a natural at this, but you know, there's a lot to learn on the way. So I've got to mix my consistency. I've been uploading the same day. Well, I've been uploading every week for 4 or 5 months now consistently. And I haven't seen a whole lot of progress in that. So consistency by itself is not the main factor. But I am consistently learning and growing and learning new things. So I think that's the whole point, is to figure out what you need to improve on. Use that data to go to the next week or next video, however you want to say it. But just uploading the same things every time hasn't worked for me. Hope this makes sense. I hope it helped, and I'll see you on the next one.